I don't like that color with the shirt I'm wearing. I'm missing several pairs of my glasses. And this is the problem with me going up and down stairs. There they go. That's better. How's everybody doing? Let me pop out the participants and say hi to Autumn Gypsy. Hey, darling. Hey, Shell, Faisy, Jean Phillips, Leanne Bishop, Lori M, Sandy Candy, Sherry Leach, and Yoshi. Now, there's more people than that here, but not everybody is talking, and that's fine. Not everybody wants to talk. Some people just want to sit and listen to conversation, even if it is one-sided. That's why I try and read the comments as much as possible. Hey, Debbie Caputo, how's it going, darling? Hope your day's been great. Hey, Seashell. So, Jean, how are you? So, how's it going, folks? The pumpkin is done. I got 16 pints and 7 quarts of pumpkin. Good thing it's good in soup. However, when I was canning, I didn't want to run the canner for like 2 more jars. So I threw some in a bag in the freezer. And I threw a handful in the soup I was making. And Howie's like, nah, if you're going to put pumpkin in, you got to cut it up smaller. So, hey, Simply Jessica, Rodney, Celeste, Sheila, Marnie. Hey, 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 hey. So has everybody had a good weekend? Guess I missed the card exchange. Oh, honey, well, yes, because the list has already been cycled and then cycled twice. But if you want to exchange a card with me, then send me. I don't know. I can't go any further than I already have with that. I'm seriously. I have because of the way the list is made, that if you try and add people after the fact, they're going to get cards, or they're going to send out cards, but they're not going to get any because their name wasn't cycled through the list. Does that make sense? Hey, Lena Kay. Timothy, hello, Mary Cook. How are you, darling? Okay, well, listen, if you want to do kind of if you want to be a part of the exchange, but not the official exchange, go into the Connected Hearts Facebook page and make a post saying, I would like to exchange some Christmas cards with some Connected Hearts members. Who wants in? And then you all can exchange the other people will come in and say yes, 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 hopefully. And then you guys exchange addresses through the messenger. Okay? But as for the original list, no. But put that on Facebook and you might find my name on there. Okay? Okay. Does that make sense? Because I can't go into the original list now because it's already been cycled several times. So this is the next best thing that you can do. And you will probably get people who are in the exchange saying, sure. Because there's lots of people say, sure, I'd like extra cards and I'd like to send extra cards, right? Thank you, Marnie. Hey, Chaos, how are you, darling? Michelle Maria, Cressida. Oh, I love that name, Cressida. It's very British. Very, very British. As a matter of fact, it's one of the names in, oh my goodness. What's the show? Bridgerton. So, hey, Stephen, darling, how are you? How's it going? I just got in from the last market of the season. Hooray! Bravo, Stephen. We all know how very, very, very hard you work. And as for our discussion about YouTube channel building, I have been planning. There have been some people who have asked me to teach them how to build a YouTube channel, not like mine as in content, but like mine as in authenticity. And I said, why would you want to learn from me when it took me 12 years to get a YouTube channel? And everybody who asked said the same thing. Because in those, it may have taken you 12 years, but you've learned from all your mistakes. And those are learning tools that we could use to avoid them and get where you are faster. And I went, all right, well, I guess that makes sense. Hey, David, how's it going? Hi, Granny Frammy. Malka. Hi, darling. Sherry Leach. Where's Wit Sally? I didn't see Wit Sally. Hi, Wit Sally. If I don't see your name right away, just keep talking. Remember, just be careful with too many capital letters, too many emoticons, and the virus residue of Nightbot will kick you out and blame it on me. I ain't touching nothing. So, is everybody, all my American friends, getting ready for Thanksgiving? I bet that pumpkin, whether savory or sweet, will be good for you. Time to create some new recipes. Exactly, Rodney. Exactly. I have a chicken in the oven. You know what that means. It means one chicken for suppers. Let's see how creative we can get there. But I ran out of potatoes. I had 2 fresh potatoes left, so I just put them in with the chicken and an onion, and I'm heating up a jar of carrots and a jar of beets. I wouldn't have bothered with the beets, except that there's only 2 small potatoes, and those are for Howard. Yes, I could have made instant mashed potatoes, but let's put it this way. I emptied the beets into the pot, the pint of beets, and I was eating them right out of the pot cold. They're cold. I could just eat them out of the jar like candy. Made my cranberry sauce. Awesome. Thank you. Hi, Wit Sally. Being here feels like I have company in the house. Well, I mean, that's the whole point, eh? I mean, think about when just before the pandemic started, and I was ill in November of 2019. I had just done a big Thanksgiving dinner. It was a gluten-free. We had gluten-free and plant-based people here and everything. And half of the people at my Thanksgiving were sick within weeks with COVID. And the only reason it wasn't recorded is because we didn't have a test for it here then. But I got ill with pelvic pain issues and I could barely function. I couldn't stand up to cook much, had to use the microwave, all kinds of fun stuff. But that's when I started doing the daily live streams on our half-acre homestead. And those went for 18 months every single day. And I think, I know that most of my live streams now are Patreon, right, for patrons. However, I reserve Thursdays and Sundays for everybody else, like for the rest of us, because it's not fair, right? You know, you guys just don't get all the extras, that's all. But you still get 2 live streams a week, and patrons get 3, right? It's just the patrons' live streams are a little different, that's all. Hey, Mama Cat! Did I see Mama Cat? Vicky Lemire, how are you, darling? EJM. How do you make your roasted potatoes? Mama Cat sounds delicious. I missed that. What did I miss? Okay, tell us how you make your roasted potatoes. So I just threw my chicken in the oven with 2 potatoes and an onion in it. And I'm heating up carrots and I'm heating up beets in separate pots, because the beets I'm just going to eat with butter and salt and pepper. And the carrots, once they're heated up, I'm going to drain them, and then I'm going to give them a quick saute in garlic butter. So I cut them, oil them, and then add seasoning with green beans. That's how you do potatoes? Bev, I am so over customs for the year. You mean customers or customs? But I hope you've stocked your pantry well. This is a weird year. This is the first year that I don't have a full freezer. As a matter of fact, my big freezer's empty completely. Howie! How? He's taking some Tylenol. He's got a stiff neck. He just delivered that white truck that's been in our barn for a year. Yum. I cannot make roasted potatoes as good as my mom did. Too soggy, not crispy enough. I just throw them in the roasting pan, and put the lid on it. But cast iron is the best for roasted potatoes. I just pulled the squash out of the oven. Hubby is finishing up the back straps. Oh, that sounds so good. Howie did not get a deer. He only went hunting once, and I told him next year if he wants to spend $60 on a deer tag, he better be out there every Saturday and Sunday of the deer hunting season to get us meat, because that $60 wouldn't have bought much in meat, but it would have bought more than he got, because he only went out once. Everyone says hi to Papa and Gracie. We're just starting to watch that new I got Amazon Prime. Okay. And it's kind of like, for me, it's like Netflix. Like, we've heard about all this cool stuff on Amazon Prime, right? And I said, I used a prepaid Visa on Amazon, and I always thought you could never use them for Prime or anything like that because they don't have a name on them. Well, the name on the card was a vanilla Visa card. So when they asked for a name, I put vanilla, and it worked. And then Howie's prepaid one that he pays with his CIBC bank account that he uses just to put money on his prepaid Visa when we need it. He used it on Amazon for something, and it went to try and take that out again. And so we decided to keep it. We decided just, we're gonna buy the Amazon for the year, and it'll. Oh my goodness, I'm missing so much here. Americans, we ready for Thanksgiving? We are doing a turkey breast and small ham. I love turkey, but hubby doesn't, so we are doing both. Well, we didn't have a turkey for Thanksgiving. Well, we did. We did have a turkey, but it was at the races, so it wasn't our turkey. So we got a serving of turkey. We didn't have all the wonderful leftovers. I haven't been able to find a turkey on sale. I get people sending me pictures on Facebook and an email saying, look what I got for 33 cents a pound. It cost me $6 for a 20-pound turkey. Because I guess in the States, if you shop so much, why don't they do that shit in Canada? Hey, food basics. Maxi. No frills. IGA. Tell us. Spend $200 here and we will give you a turkey for 39 cents a pound. I would spend $400 and get 2 turkeys. I drained potatoes, put back in the pot dry, shaking the pot. Throw on cookie sheet. Oh, that's why Rodney says that's why they say necessity is the mother of invention. Butter, onions, garlic, and pumpkin cubes fried up in a skillet. I would try it. Butter, onions, or garlic. Onions. How about onions and garlic? And pumpkin cubes fried up in a skillet. Well, the video's coming out on our half-acre homestead tomorrow for the pumpkin. My lids that I said, this company contacted me and they said they were going to send me lids. I gave them my address. I have not received any lids. I got a tracking number and everything, but I got no lids. It was supposed to be here on the 15th. So I'm really glad I saved my blueberries and my black currants so that when the lids do arrive, I can... and by the way, in my pumpkin video, I used Bernardin lids. And I used Dollar Tree lids from the craft section. And all the I have not had one Dollar Tree lid fail. Superstore gives turkey up to 15-pound free. What? Wait a second. What? The Loblaws? Where? Where, Sherry? Never mind. I'll look that up after. I bought a turkey and it fought back, landed on my chest. I have a bruise from it. I'm fixing to can up some turkey. I need to find one of your videos. Hang on a second. I'll get that for you. Hang on. And don't be asking me for videos all through the thing or I won't be able to talk. Okay, let's do this. Canning. Is your turkey frozen? Canning turkey or canning turkey from the freezer? There we go. Oh, your turkey is already cooked? Oh, that's easy, honey. If your turkey's already cooked, and there's two things you can do. You can strip the bird and save the meat and boil the turkey for broth and then can the leftover turkey in the broth. Or you can throw that turkey carcass and the neck and everything in the crock pot and let that cook for 24 hours with lots of water. And you can grind. If you've got a meat grinder, you can put the cooked turkey through the meat grinder and dry can it, ground, like you would ground beef. How many minutes per pound do you cook a turkey in a pressure cooker? Well, that depends on how tender you want it and whether it's frozen or not when you start. If you're starting with a frozen turkey, I do this. Okay? Now, do you want broth? Or do you want to cook it just to eat it? These are all things you got to tell me specifically why you want to cook it in a pressure cooker. Where's Rosie? If you live 1,000 feet or more above sea level, you have to ask the internet. But if you live 1,000 feet, less than 1,000 feet above sea level, it's 10 pounds pressure. Now, if you want it, hey, Joe Mama. Okay, well, put your feet up and have a cup of tea, dear. I haven't got one yet. Dang, I need to get that tomorrow so it can thaw. You don't need to thaw. Oh, okay. You're talking about roasting a turkey. If you want to cook a turkey in the pressure cooker for canning, okay, to can, okay, with broth, how much broth do you want? This is what I do. I put a turkey in my biggest pressure canner. I throw in 2 carrots, a couple of stalks of celery, an onion, a bay leaf, 5 to 10 peppercorns, and a tablespoon of pickling salt. Add enough water so that you've got it, you've got about this much, depending on the size of your canner. But you don't want the water to come all the way up to the top. You want it more than half full, maybe 3/4 full after everything else is in it. Fill it up to 3/4 full. Cook it for 90 minutes at 10 pounds pressure. That shit will slip right off the bone. And when you strain it, okay, hang on a second. Canning frozen turkey from the freezer. Here you go. Hey, Jennifer W., how are you? There you go. Oh, shoot, I'm losing stuff here. I'm not supposed to start supplying the coop with canned item. I'm supposed to start supplying the coop with canned items shortly. Well, darling, you know what a shit show that was last year for exhaustion. So do yourself a favor, Stephen. Put your feet up for at least 2 days. Plan it. Sit down. Don't go into work mode. Sit down for a couple of days. Rest. Put your feet up. Get a notebook out and start planning how you're going to organize your winter. Thus, you're getting rest and you're laying out your plan and you're organizing your plan of attack for winter. Okay, do that for me, darling. I'm good. I hope you and Howie are well. We're well. Howie's got a stiff neck, but okay, well, there you go. Oh, I'm glad you're doing better, Malka. So that's what's going on. Tonight's supper is chicken and beets and carrots. Howie can have the potatoes and the onion and some carrots, and I'll just eat almost all the beets because I'm not sure if he's going to want any, but I'm going to eat the beets and I'm going to eat half the carrots. Why are you making beets? Why don't you make some instant mashed potatoes? I said, because I want beets and I also want carrots. You could have the potatoes, but I don't have to make up an instant mashed potato and beets and carrots. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's a heating pad downstairs, but he didn't want to bother go get it. He had a bath and he had an Epsom salt soak, and he's taken an ibuprofen and he's laying down. Well, thank you, Rodney. I assume you're talking about my canning turkey video. Co-op, right? Okay. Well, listen, Stephen. Organization is your best friend, so take a couple of days to breathe, to plan, okay? And I don't mean, oh, that's a great idea and start canning. No, sit down, plan an attack so that you're not dead come March when you're starting all your seedlings and stuff. 2-week break. Yes, good for you. Thank you. I thought I was going to have an argument with 2 days. But trust me, in those 2 weeks, spend the first couple of days with a notebook and a hot cup of coffee or chocolate or tea and start organizing, because you may feel well rested after a couple of days and decide to start working again. Start with your plan of attack. Oh, I don't know nothing about what he's doing. I just know he's gonna, I know burnout. And I know some of Stephen's medical history, and he really needs to look after himself. You can't take it with you. And in reality, right, you're well stocked as it is. Can you can on a glass top stove? Okay. Here's the big thing. You can, but it's not advisable. I did can on a glass top stove. So as long as it is put on the stove gently and then filled, don't fill it and then try and set it on there, okay? Also, do not slide your canner across the glass surface. I tried to slide the glass canner or the canner off the one burner to the cold burner, the glass one, and I broke the top of my stove. Hi, Anita. So you just got to be very, very careful. Okay? Just got to be really careful. What else was I going to say? Yes, so I've saved my blueberries and now I only have like maybe a cup or 2 cups of black currants, but I use those with blueberry because currants are more acidic in flavor, and when you just make blueberry jam, It just tastes like a lot of blueberries and sugar to me. I like a bit of zing. So I cook my black currants and I strain the juice. And normally you'd make jelly with that, but I'm going to then cook it with the blueberries and sugar and make jam. Okay, Chaos, that's perfect. Thank you. So yeah, I'm really not expecting. Expectations are resentments waiting to happen. But I am envisioning my paychecks from Google AdSense getting back to normal this month. I see that. I see me going, yes! So that I can go shopping at Costco. How? If you get up for a minute, don't forget you got to take the lid off the freezer and unplug it, please. Oh, I've got to turn this to do not disturb. So you guys don't get the whoops. So you guys don't get the every time it does that. I canned on my glass top stove, just water bath canning, no problems, but I'm very careful. Yes, you have to be. You can freeze it. Well, no, I guess you can't freeze anything, but yeah, you can freeze bone broth. Yeah, absolutely. Just don't do it in jars. You let it cool down. You know how it gets jelly-like? And then put it in baggies and then put it in the freezer. If it's not jelly, you might want to cook your bones more. But if it's cold, you can take the fat off the top. You can cut that jelly in cubes, but you make sure it's in an airtight container or plastic bag so that when you take it out to thaw or whatever, it doesn't melt all over your counter. You know what I mean? Hey, Penny Live, you videos Metcalf. Hi. Beth from Nova Scotia. How are you, darling? How are things out in Nova Scotia? Linnell, and don't put too much weight in the canner on the glass stove or it will break it. So you just, I canned on my glass top stove till I broke it. Hang on, I gotta turn the heater off. Looks like I'll be starting a fire tonight. Daddy's too tired. He delivered his truck. You're quite welcome, sweetheart. All right. When are you going to do your card reading? Good question, Rodney. Saturday next week, the 27th of November, we will go live in Glamour. Glamour can be anything from makeup to character to makeup and wigs and character. But we will be going live in Glamour on Saturday evening, the 27th of November. So everybody get your turkey dinner out of the way. Get your Black Friday insanity out of the way. And how are they going to handle Black Friday with all these things going on? Anyway, get all that stuff out of the way, and Saturday is cards. Hey, Sandra Moore, how are you, darling? And Patricia, how are you, darling? Put broth in ice cube trays. Oh, that's brilliant. But you see, the way I use broth, ice cube, if it was bouillon, like if it was cooked right down to like flavor, then yeah, ice cube trays. But Yoshi, I freeze in ice trays, pop them out, and put in a freezer bag. Well, I guess that makes sense, because if you want, that does make sense, because if you want to say do a stir fry and you want a little bit of extra bump in the flavor, but you don't want a lot, that makes sense. Okay, ice cube trays, I can see it now. No, the wood is not on the porch yet, but Howie has put his foot down. Now that his race car's on the trailer, the coach is up above, and we are actually going to keep that coach cleared out in case there's an emergency power outage for longer than a day. We can pull that coach down here and plug that generator into our house, because it's a 200 It's a 220. Howie, what's the generator in our coach? It's a 6500 something or other. So, hi Laura, how are you? And Sandy Candy, Sandra Moore. Is there a way to freeze eggs? I was gifted a ton and I don't know what to do with it. Yes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, if you have small silicone muffin trays, you just beat them and then you fill them in muffin trays. Okay? But don't, if you have silicone muffin trays or ice cube trays or whatever, but liquid eggs, 4 eggs, 1 cup is considered 4 large eggs. So a quarter cup of beaten egg is 1 large egg. So if you want to portion it, like I did it, and I put 4 eggs in a bag and 2 eggs in a bag, and then I just laid them all flat in the freezer in baggies. But if you want them to be really well pre-measured, and you have like silicone muffin trays or anything like that, you can do them in quarter cup measures. Okay? Or find out how much a quarter cup takes to make an ice cube. Like 4 ice cubes might make an egg or whatever. But yes, you can freeze them. And just don't thaw them out on the counter, because then you're asking for trouble. If you're going to use eggs the next morning, you take them out of the freezer and toss them in your fridge. Yes, you have to beat them. You have to whisk them. As a matter of fact, it might be a good idea to take them little umbilical cord things out. But, your best bet is to put them in a blender. Your best bet is to put them in a blender. You're welcome. Maggie Calhoun. Dirty Harry Calhoun. We're going to call you Dirty Harry, Maggie, from now on. Any Christmas crafts ideas yet for videos? I haven't done a damn thing yet. But I am thinking of soon decorating the little tree in here, bringing my sewing machine in. I have a whole plan for Christmas this year. I don't have a plan. Only for the trees. I'm thinking of going and getting one of our small kind of Charlie Brown trees that has like 12 branches on it or whatever. Taking down the stained glass light, swag light in my window, taking all the plants out and just putting a tree right in the window. And that way it's not on the floor. It's not, you know what I mean? And you can see it better. If I put it in front of the bay window, you only get a glimpse of it. And I like people to see that I have a Christmas tree in the window. But I will be decorating a tree downstairs, and I will be decorating a tree up here, and I will be doing the 2 artificial trees between now and the 1st of December. Hi, Ahmad. How are you, darling? My mom and I are going to make crafts like wreaths, kind of, with those huge embroidery hoops. There you go. Well, happy Sunday to you, too. I know. I like it. And it's going to be a Charlie Brown tree, and people are going to hate it. But then again, I might bow down to Howie again and let him get his 7-foot tree. But the thing is with those trees is I decorate them. Howie just gets them up, puts them in the stand. You know what I mean? You got a Norfolk pine tree today for Christmas. Oh, there you go. I've never had any luck with Norfolk pines, right? They just die on me. But I've got some little 5-foot trees. Remember me telling you back in the day about the trees that I rescued out of the ditch? I could see them poking out of the gravel and the sand that had been plowed and plowed and plowed and thrown in the ditch all winter long. And when I dug them up, there was 18 of them. And I transplanted them all along on my side of the fence line. And I've got some 5-6-foot trees there, right? They're just not full like a regular Christmas tree. But they don't have to be. I like an antique looking tree. Thank you. I think it sounds cozy too. You leaving, Stephen? Oh, God, I hate that rhymed. Mwah! Take care, sweetheart, if you're leaving. How does the road salt not kill those? This is Canada. It's pretty hard to kill shit. It really is hard to kill shit. That's native. It's because they're native. It's not a Christmas tree farm. These are just little spruce trees that grow wild, right? And I'm going to start using them at Christmas time. Eventually, they'll make a nice screen from the road. Come and get your love. I saw a TikTok called the flower guy, and it was about a guy who was in a wedding, and it was an outdoor wedding, and he was like the flower guy. He was like 20 some years old, right? And he comes out all dressed up, and he's got a little fanny pack, a gold fanny pack on his front, and and the music is come and get your love. And as he's dancing across the grass, and I mean, forget the wedding. He was the most I didn't even, it was just great. He was casting flower petals while he was dancing. It was really cool. I love those antique looking trees. My mom's friend had one year, and I absolutely love it. My mom is like you were from another time. Yeah, I love those, right? I mean, you look at Howie. Do you know what I found out is on Amazon Prime? Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus with Charles Bronson. Do you have any idea how hard that movie's been to find? I mean, I tried to find it on the internet to buy a copy of it on DVD, could never find it. So, I heard Canada, CA has those big, thick pine trees, and they are beautiful in winter, covered in snow. Yep. Hey, Becky, how are you? It's a movie with Charles Bronson and John Boy. I never remember his name. John Boy. It's a really good movie, and it's one of my favorites. Do you remember the movie? Does anybody, like horror fans, ever watch the movie Ginger Snaps? Let me know if you've seen Ginger Snaps. Ginger, which is really weird. This is really weird. Ginger, the chick who played Ginger, also played Virginia. And yes, for Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. Okay? My niece is named Virginia, and she goes by the name Ginger. It's just kind of one of those weird coincidences. Richard Thomas, thank you. Richard Thomas plays Virginia's dad. I spent Christmas on Maui once. We loved it. Wow. The only time I spent Christmas in a hot place was Florida in Christmas 1990. Mine and Howie's first Christmas together. We went to Florida to be with his mom and dad. And I had culture shock. I'd never been on a plane before. I had never been, had I been out of Canada? No, don't think so. Never been on a plane before. Never been to the U.S. that I could recall. And I'll never forget Christmas Eve. I think we had gone to Disneyland or whatever it was. But anyway, it was Christmas Eve. And it was 84 degrees. No, it wasn't Christmas Eve. It was the day before Christmas Eve. It was like 85 degrees. I'm Canadian, guys. I barely tolerate anything over 75, right? And I'm also alien, so there you go. Anyway, we go into the liquor store, the beer store, which is, back then we were drinkers. And I got a case of beer for Howie, and I got myself some Long Island iced tea or some bloody spiffy drink. And when I got up to the cash register, and I had the heart, so I'd been on a plane for the first time. The money was all green. So I had a tendency to tip with 20s by accident. So I get up to the cash register and I'm going, she tells me how much it is, and it was a lot cheaper than at home. And I'm looking through the bills and I hand her the right things. I don't want to hand her too much. And then she says, Merry Christmas. And I looked at her like she was absolutely insane because I'm standing there in shorts and a tank top sweating to death. And she said, "Is everything okay?" And my mother-in-law started laughing. She said, "It's okay. She's never been to Florida before. She's Canadian." So Flicka tonight. Oh, isn't Flicka that porpoise? Or was that Chicker? I can't remember. Hi, Kelly. How are you, darling? Melody Ray. We saw the whales. It is the most beautiful place I have ever been. I have been to all the islands except Kauai. Wow. I love the Hogfather very much. What's the Hogfather? You mean the Godfather? I've never heard of the Hogfather. Flickerwood horse. Flipper was a dolphin. Flipper was a dolphin. That's right. That's what I was thinking. Flicka. Flicka's a horse. Flipper's a dolphin. When I was in England, I was throwing money into donation pots. It was the pound coin. I must have thrown 10 or 15 before my mom freaked out. I thought it was a nickel. Well, that's Canada, right? I don't actually have any. It's actually really hard. I haven't used cash in so long, but we have a loonie and a toonie. Yeah, we have a $2 coin and a $1 coin. And everyone said there was going to come out with a $5 coin, but pretty sure we're going friggin' cashless, so. Hey, Beth, how are you, darling? Avonlea! I'm so glad you made it. Where have you been, my love? How are you? Excuse me. My other dark fans are downstairs, so. So, the new series, The Stand, has come out on Amazon Prime. And, Supernatural! I just might put a quilt on the quilt frame just so I can watch Supernatural every day. The Hogfather is a Terry Pratchett book made into a TV show. Who does The Wheel of Time? That's another show out. Hey, Roberta, Melissa, Beth M, Skippy Jones, how's it going? Daughter's birthday. Hang on. What's her name? And bring her to the computer. What's her name, Avon? I don't get to sing happy birthday very often anymore. That's something too. When I did live streams every day, somebody almost always there was a birthday every day. Bev, how much does it cost to send a letter from the States to Canada? I don't know, $1.50. I don't know. I know to send a letter to the States, it's like here for Canadian stamp, it's like $1.10 or something. For an American stamp, I think it's $1.35, and for international, it's $1.85. It's my husband's birthday also today. Birthday blessings. Okay. Sarah, and she's 33. Is she there? It's 3 stamps. Wow. I just do 2 Canadian stamps. That's why I buy the roll of stamps from Costco. Just saying. Okay. Hey, Sarah. Mrs. Wolfe here. I'm going to sing happy birthday to you. Congratulations on being 33. You know what? Life moves really fast, but don't ever forget, you can't go back to what brought you here, or you wouldn't be where you are today, right? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, sweet Sarah. Happy birthday to you. Mwah! And many more. Happy Thanksgiving, honey. Back to The Stand. Tell us. Well, we just watched the first episode. But instead of doing it in like a mini series, they're doing it in a series, and the first season is out on Amazon Prime. First stamps are 58 cents here in the States, so send 3. Use 3. Big Johnson's beef stroking it off. Guess what? I'm going to be an uncle any day now. I was shocked because I didn't know I could make babies. Yeah. Okay, let's hope that's as wild as your, I guess, because of your name. Let's hope that's as wild as the comments you're going to make. Congratulations on becoming an uncle. Now, who else had a birthday? Laura. What's his name? And can you get him over to the computer, or is he home? Happy birthday, Sarah. You have no idea how happy you've made your mom that you're home. And I can identify. Um, so we watched the first, and supper's in the oven. And as soon as this live stream's over, I'm going to go and watch another one. But Ryan, no, he's out, but thank you, sweetheart. Okay. You think that's an understatement? Oh, no, I know. I totally get it. Totally get it. Totally get it. I'm glad I'm doing okay. I'm doing pretty good, actually. I gained 6 pounds in the last 3 days. So there's some shifts happening. I don't know what's going on, but I haven't eaten any different. Well, okay, I had a chocolate bar and a bag of chips. But you can't gain 6 pounds from a chocolate bar and a bag of chips, right? Autumn Leaf. Autumn Leaf. Was it you who sent me the card reader for my computer? My saran ball for Thanksgiving. What's a saran ball? Autumn, did you send me the card reader? There's a couple of Autumns, right? And there's, okay. No, he's going to be an uncle. I'm going to be an uncle. I didn't know I could make babies. In other words, being an uncle means you get to have a baby without making a baby, is what he meant. Saran ball is a game. Oh, okay. Why am I picturing a big ball of rubber bands? Well, if you see this, somebody, and forgive me for not remembering who you are. Well, I do know who you are. Julia. I'm not going to say your last name, and there are several Julias on here. Julia, thank you ever so much. The card reader works. And thank God, because my card reader on my computer completely died. And I was plugging my camera into the computer to get the content off of the reading card, but it was taking like an hour just to unload my camera. So didn't your son just have his 33rd birthday? Yes, in February. Arthur will be 34 in February, and Briar will be 29 in February. Lots of fun stuff in mine. I think it's best not to ask. You're right. I think you're right, Laura. Wait. Message retracted. I missed it. Put lots of fun stuff in mine. It's little prizes wrapped in layers and layers of saran wrap. You're meant to pass it around the room trying to unwrap it with oven mitts on. That's torture, man. That's torture. Hey, Aces! Nah, it's okay, honey. We got another 20 minutes or so. If, we can do that. It's prizes. It's what's really sad, okay, is when I became in my 20s, 18, 19, 20, up there, okay, Christmas became something of a thing where I bounced around at other people's homes or stayed at my dad's or my sister's or whatever. But when I had a baby, Christmas was born anew with that child. And isn't that kind of the reality of it? But now that my children are 29 and 34, respectively, come February, and I have no grandchildren, as much as I love Christmas, I'm no longer putting the effort in to gifts and all that stuff. This year, the effort is going to be putting into crafts and baking and decorating, and that's where I find my joy, is in the preparation. Christmas Day for me is over and done with in about 20 minutes, right? But everything leading up to Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Eve is like my grand finale night, where all the lights are low, nothing, the whole house is only lit by Christmas lights and the tree, and we're watching either Gordon Ramsay do something fantastic, or we're watching old movies. Oh, Amazon Prime has The Bishop's Wife, the original one. I'm so there with you, Bev. Christmas became my second childhood. Yeah, when you become a mom, right? Maybe I should torture my kids with that game. Well, there you go. And you know what? The best thing to do is give it to them while you're making breakfast. Because then you say, nobody eats. So this is what my parents used to do. We don't do stockings anymore either. Stockings were basically one of those things that everybody opened while I was making breakfast. Right? It kind of melded. Our traditions kind of melded. When I was a kid, we got a stocking on our bed. And it was a nylon stocking, a single nylon stocking. And there was one present in it, like a puppet or a slinky. And there were animal crackers and little cheese bits in a box, and nuts and candy and a tangerine and a delicious apple. And you know what I mean? But it made that stocking so full. And the present was usually near the bottom. Like the apple or something would be in the toe, but the present would be down there. So you had to get through all the other stuff first. And that we were allowed to open. You didn't have to show it to anybody now. You could just sit up on your bed and open your stocking. Where in Howie's family, everybody opened their stockings together like presents. And that drives me nuts, because the whole point of the stocking was to give parents time to get breakfast on the table, right? Wake up, deal with your hangover, get breakfast on the table, because we were not allowed to open gifts until we were not allowed to open gifts until after we'd eaten, because we'd eat. It was Mom's way of trying to get a meal into us before we stuffed ourselves on candy and crap. Like, there wasn't a lot of candy in the stocking, right? But we had to eat breakfast, even though we'd stuffed ourselves on delicious apples and animal crackers and cheese bits and candy. Then we had to have breakfast. And Mom already had the turkey in the oven. So Mom was like that. The stockings were so Mom and Dad could, Bob, come and put the turkey in the oven for me. You know what I mean? If we were lucky, it was that big. So I have send you a link to Hogfather movie from YouTube on Messenger. Oh, well, thank you, Granny. Rennie. That scene in Little Women where she eats her Christmas orange makes oranges look so delicious that I always want one. I don't remember them eating an orange. But then we could be talking, that movie's been done more than once. You're probably talking about the one with Winona Ryder. I'm talking about the one with June Allison. Hey, X-Tree Mom, how's it going? Betty Randall, how are you, darling? I would always wake my parents up. It was still dark outside. They would let me open my presents, and then I could take one and had to go back to bed until daylight. Oh, softies. Mind you, we would let the kids, if they were wound up, we would let them open one present on Christmas Eve. But seriously, we didn't put our presents under the tree. The presents didn't go under the tree until Santa Claus came. Never. We never had presents under our tree. When people brought gifts or gifts were delivered in the mail, they went and got hidden. So that, because like in our family as a kid, we weren't wealthy people. when I was a kid. And we weren't wealthy when my kids were small. So the whole point was, if you only have 5 or 6 presents, or 2 presents for each person, that's 8 presents under the tree, right? You want that to be as big as an impact Christmas morning as if all the presents were from Santa Claus, right? So the kids would go to bed, and any present that came from family, friends, or whatever, even the week before Christmas, the month before Christmas, they all got put away when the kids went to bed and were asleep. That's when they came out. And it always made the hugest impact. My parents got excited as we did. We were up at 5 a.m. It was great. I continued the tradition. I ruined my kids for it. Hey, Deborah! How's it going? Well, I get it. But the thing is, we were allowed to open our stockings as long as we didn't disrupt our parents. See, parents heard us up and got up. We were not allowed to go. We could go look at the tree, but we couldn't touch anything under it. All that stuff. We didn't do stockings. We got a decorated paper plate with nuts, tangerine, orange, and a little Christmas foil chalk. Oh, that sounds lovely. I did that with my 21-year-old who was 5 when he found the ones I had hidden and opened every single one. My kids as they got older, like in their teens, they were like, "Oh yeah, Mom, we knew you changed the writing." I said, "No, I didn't." Right? I did change the writing. All gifts from, like, because Nan would say, like, sometimes Nan would send presents and they would be from Santa. I'd say, "You can't put them from Santa, Nan." Why? I said, "Because it's the exact same handwriting as yours." All presents. She said, "We'll change the tags then." I said, "Okay." But all presents from Santa were in block letters and black Sharpie. Always. I'm going to tell my daughter about the stocking idea. She has 4 little ones. That would allow her time to get breakfast done. Do you want to see? I got to show you this. Maybe I'll knit one. Oh! I'll be right back. Pretty sure it's in the bathroom for some reason. Oh, that chicken's starting to smell good. You see this? This is my Christmas stocking. I knitted this. It's the only one that has Mom knitted into it. Now, I knitted these for Arthur's first Christmas. Howard's is red and white. Mine was green and white, and Arthur's was red, white, and green. And as the kids came, and I made one for Briar, and I made them for some of my nieces and nephews. But these things, this stocking is 33 years old. Okay? Now look at this. I'm gonna show you just exactly what this thing holds. Look. This is 33 years old, kids, and I hand knit this. Watch. Oh, let's just start loading it. Dog treats. Dog treats. Dog treats. Do you see it getting longer? That's 3 things of dog treats. And you can stuff. Look at this. Look at the stretch. I'm going to stick my arm in there. All the way down. That is a stocking. Oh, put this stuff back. And, well, no, it's not an infomercial. You didn't see. Plain Old Paws treats. Plain Old Paws 20 is the coupon code. But see how small that is? Look. And look. You could put almost anything in these things. I made ours out of fleece. They just grow and grow. Not being wrapped because Santa didn't wrap everything, but it would only be, I have friends, but it would only be like 4 or 5 unwraps. The rest were all wrapped with bows. Well, I'll tell you something. I had a friend, like she would, all the presents under the tree. And presents came in and they went under the tree. And then Christmas morning, she said, I hate wrapping presents. Right? And so all the stuff from Santa Claus would just show up unwrapped all around the tree. That's Santa stuff. It's like, and then, does anybody do Baby New Year, where you put the stocking up on New Year's Eve and it gets filled by Baby New Year, or father, grandfather time and Baby New Year kind of thing? They say saving money. Well, I mean, there's saving money and then there's just being cheap, right? I mean, sure, wrap your Christmas gifts in flyers if you want, or even plain black and white newspaper and then wrap them with colorful ribbons and bows. Kids don't care. As a matter of fact, before Briar was born, before it was Giant Tiger, no, not Giant Tiger. There used to be a place called, it was a store. It went from Byway to Bargains to whatever. It changed names. I don't know. They finally closed it. But you would go in there the day after Boxing Day or Boxing Day, and they had cheap, really cheap. It was basically colored newsprint. But the day after the holidays, when you could go shopping, you'd get a bag of those for 25 cents. I would buy them. Now Howie's using my good Costco newspaper to wrap cars. I'm going to get him a big roll of paper for Christmas so he can stop using my Christmas wrap. 2 more themes to sew on baby quilt top. Number 4 will be done. Awesome. Brown paper bags with bows. As a matter of fact, if you've got kids or grandkids, if you're really careful, you can open those brown paper bags by the seams and iron them out, and then give the kids crayons or paints or whatever. Sponges with paints. Cut sponges into stars and moons and Christmas trees. Okay? Give them some poster paint from the dollar store and put the paint in different dishes and just let them make their colored wrapping paper with sponges. There are so many ways, and it's probably you could probably get 3 or 4 colored poster paints and a package of sponges for like $5, and you can make all the paper you want, right? Tape dispensers. Hit sales the day after Christmas and get you some paper. Also, a game changer is the tape dispenser, not just the little plastic ones. I mean the ones that teachers have. I had one somewhere. I love tape dispensers. Butcher paper to color, right? But butcher paper is expensive. It depends on where you get it and what kind you get. But don't buy the pink stuff with the silicone or the plastic backing. It's just ugly. But you can buy white butcher paper, right? A tape dispenser is perfect, yeah. Christmas paper is hard to find. Usually, and I didn't get one last year, I get one of these every year at Costco for $10. And every year I buy a new one so that I have different paper. But my husband keeps stealing my wrapping paper to wrap cars when he's painting them. So, Yeah, the two-sided paper's back. Did somebody hear a treat bottle? What? Well, don't tell me. Go tell Daddy. He's the one out there by the door, out there ready to put you out. Go tell Daddy. She wants out, Howard. $0.99 to $2 a roll. I bought it. Where the hell is that? I think. I don't know where my wrapping paper went. I had a bunch of it right here, but I must have put it somewhere. But, you know, wrapping paper is just, you know, it is what it is, right? It's only going to get torn and thrown away, but you can decorate up. You know, you could buy a Toronto Star newspaper, and one of those things, they used to be like that thick. Yes, dear, I'm coming. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to save these flyers just in case. So, yeah, I'm going to do some crafts. I think this year I'm going to do some, I've still got to finish Mikey's quilt. I have a row, a side, and 3/4 to sew the binding on, and then I have to flip it over and hand sew it all the way. So Walmart sells the messed up rolls for dirt cheap, and I have actually bought old wrapping paper at the thrift shop for practically nothing. There you go. Wrapping paper is fun to rip. I've used wallpaper when I was in a hurry and couldn't find my, well, there you go. And there's other things you can use, like say you're giving a gift to your mother-in-law or your sister-in-law or a new couple or your daughter who's just getting their first apartment, right? I have, you know how they work when you buy sheets, sometimes they're in those zipper bags. Well, you do this, a lot of people do this for baby shower gifts. Wrap the gift in like a tea towel, or, you know, if you have a set of sheets, or you want to give a set of towels, well, just take the towels and then wrap them in one of the towels, or whatever, right? You can use, like, wrap things in pillowcases and towels and tea towels. You know what I mean? Anyone remember taking construction paper to make chains for the tree? I got to show you this. I can't lift it. But, Jean, you snagged on one of my projects. How do I do this here? Look. That is all construction paper. If you can see it, that is all construction paper. I'm putting up 3 trees here this year. One, I'm using the Christmas cards. Hang on a second. Now I got to reorganize this. One, I'm using the Christmas cards from last year, and I am going to take, I think it was Joe Mama's advice. I think it was Joe Mama's advice. I'm going to, instead of cutting them, see how these are all kind of taped together from last year's tree on the wall? Instead of cutting them, first we take the back off. Did you take the lid off the freezer? Instead of cutting them this way, I'm going to cut them narrower and longer so that the loops are much bigger. Oh, Papa's going to light a fire. Yes, Jean, we do that and use it. So I'm going to make one with Christmas cards. I'm going to make one with construction paper, and I'm going to make another one, and I'm not telling you what I'm making it out of. So yeah, the theme this year is going to be chains. Okay, but I might all be in one video. I don't know. After recovering from a hurricane last year, we strung popcorn for the tree. Couldn't get into the ornaments. My dogs loved it. Well, a lot of people I've made, geez, there's so many projects I have done before I ever had a YouTube channel. I got these great big pine cones. They were literally like this big, right? At a yard sale. Big bag of them. They're from Georgia. And I went to this clearance place and they had little wooden bases, music box bases. It was just a base, but it played Ave Maria. So do you know what I did? I bought that base and I took it home and I glued the pine cone on top. And then I individually glued beads and pipe cleaners for garland. And I made this miniature Christmas tree that played Ave Maria. I gave it to my sister for Christmas. That would have been a brilliant video. Who else buys an ornament for their kids each year so that when they start, well, I'm going to make ornaments for the kids this year because I don't know if they're going to be here before Christmas or if they're coming. I don't think they're coming for Christmas, Arthur and Mel. So I'm going to be sending out, hopefully, when the regular paycheck comes back, I'm going to be sending their gifts to them in the mail, and I will probably send them a couple of little ornaments. And oh, that's right. I've got some things and I'm also going to make some ornaments out of these. I saw a thing that I wanted to try. So those red berries off the thorny hedge bushes stringed up are pretty. Well, there's also, you can go out and those are, rose hips. Rose hips, those thorny bushes I think you're talking about are called hawthorn. And they're like a teeny tiny apple almost, but they're the size of a berry. And yeah, there's all kinds of things that I'm getting the hiccups. So what's going on with Anita? Dinner's ready. I have to go. Hubby is making it because I just had surgery yesterday and can't get around too easy. Will you take care, Anita? And we're going to lift you up in prayer. And it's coming to that time. It's 12 minutes. You can do cranberries too. Philip George, hi. How are you? Off the thorny bush stringed are pretty. Yeah. In third grade, we got a navel orange and we stuck cloves. Yes, I have a video on that. It's called a pomodoro ball. You can do it with apples too. Bev, I love the curtain on your doorway. Would love to see it in its full glory. Well, let's go have a look at it then, shall we? It is just pinned. You see, it's just pinned so that it doesn't. Now, here we go. Carrots, corn, strawberries, grapes, zucchini, oranges, raspberries, peas, cherries. She put a lot of time and energy and thought into collecting these fabrics. Isn't that gorgeous? You know what we don't have? There's mushrooms down at the bottom and garlics and potatoes and tomatoes. But we don't have meat in there. Anyway, we are getting to that time. People are starting to leave because they know what's coming up. Oy. Now, sorry about that. I love that quilt. And it sometimes is on my bedroom door. It sometimes is on this door. I've had it hanging on a wall because it's not really fit for a twin bed. It's more of a hanging art piece. So I know, I love it. Yeah, I got that. It was given to me in 2010. It feels like yesterday, but it's a part of my life. My house is filled with gifts from people. From the card reader that's just attached to my computer, to the quilt on the wall, to all kinds of stuff. Okay? And I mean ornaments on my tree, right? So I haven't decided which tree is going to be, but I think I'm going to divide, because remember all the ornaments? I'm going to divide the ornaments between the two trees. The YouTube family Christmas tree, there's going to be two of them this year. There's going to be one downstairs and one upstairs, one here, right? The colors are beautiful, and someone definitely had you in mind. Absolutely. It's called Mrs. Wolfie's Jars. This has been my first live with you, and I truly enjoyed listening. Well, thank you, Lauren. Hi, Angie girl. Deborah, I want to say Kissinger. So long, folks. Yes, dear, I'm coming. All right. People are starting to leave because they know we're going to do our prayer. Now, the ceramic cookie containers you've gotten over the years, as many as I have, I used to have a whole lot more. Some of them got smashed in moving. Some of them got left behind or sold in yard sales before we moved to Quebec. So I just don't do them anymore. I just, they're on display and that's it. Absolutely. Hi, Nana. I didn't even see you there. I made Russian tea cake dough today. Put it in the freezer for later in the season. Oh, I'm going to go through recipes. I'm doing different stuff this year. I mean, maybe it wouldn't be Christmas without snowballs, but maybe we don't need snowballs. We don't need snowballs this year, do we? He's not listening. That was just a stone cold silence. Yes, that was from Sharon. I don't know where she's been. I know her husband was really, really sick with COVID, so I hope nothing has happened to Sharon. So, oh, the Russian tea cakes are snowballs. Okay. Hi, old critters. Well, listen. We got to go. It's been an hour and 17 minutes, and I'm using more data than I ever did before when I was daily live streaming, because I feel like I've got lots and then I actually overuse it. So I have to trim these lives down to an hour to the best of my ability, okay? However, it is now time for us to drop the barriers of religion and link hearts and link hands in faith. And you connect to your faith, I'll connect to mine, and we'll all send out a big spiritual push to each other and to the world. And we're going to lift up all our friends and family and anybody who needs it in the world today. BC is really in a state of emergency with flooding and torrential rains. And I've heard some really crazy stuff, but I'm not going to go there. All right. So, well, you're welcome, sweetheart. Now listen. They're also called Mexican wedding cookies and all those things, right? All right, well, we'll be live again on Thursday. And then our once a month live card readings and divination with whoever is going to show up in a wig that night. So for the rest of us, please take a nice deep breath, connect to your faith, and let's just commune with God a little bit, okay? Or whoever your higher power is, specifically, if you have specifics. I don't like how to do. It's really specific. So, all right, Joe Mama, take care, honey. And anybody who's leaving, mwah, love you guys. Hey, Kara Krantz, it's good to see you. All right. Nice deep breath. Hey, God, creator of all, source of all, the supreme being of all who gave us Christ to teach us love. How's it going? We're here, God, as we always are, to lift each other up, to raise up folks in prayer who've had surgery, who are ill, who are alone, who are missing their families, who are in lockdown, whatever the case may be. Addictions, rejections, mental health problems. We just want to lift all those people up to you, God, so that the love you feel for every last human being, every last entity in the realms can feel the touch of your divine love. But we're going to link hearts and hands, God, and we are just going to let you pour your love, light, patience, tolerance, all things wonderful and joyful into our bodies to the point where we cannot contain all that amazing light. We connect our feet to the earth and we lift our hearts and our faces to the sky and we fill with your light and your love, God. And when we can't contain it, we push that light out into a big, beautiful, billion-watt divine light dome for the weak and the suffering and the sad and the alone and the injured and the ill to come under for respite, to rest, to recharge. And as they recharge and they rest and they heal, they step forward and they also lift their light aloft, because we know that as long as we carry God's light within us and over us and around us, the darkness cannot touch us. It gets pushed back. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, for giving us the light of your love to carry aloft for the world and for each other. May we go forth in peace and light, carrying that torch until we meet again. Amen. Shalom. Namaste. Peace be with you. Walk in the light. Merry meet. Blessed be. Merry part. Peace be with you. Whatever it is, love and light is always the best answer and the best choice in a decision. Take care. God bless. We'll see you guys Thursday. Love you. Don't forget that we are all worthy of love.